we have a thumbnail. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Evan, and I wanted to do a very brief, very quick discussion video talking about DVDs. And not just any DVDs, I wanted to talk more about franchise DVDs and how these DVDs are made and what's different about them, and for a very specific reason as to why I sometimes like them and sometimes do not. Now, the more specific thing I wanted to talk about when it came to DVDs are their spines. I think that the spines of a DVD are incredibly important, especially from an organizational standpoint. It shows how serious the studio is and making everything look nice and everything like that. And just sitting on a shelf, it just looks way better to have all of the entries in a series have spines that line up with numbers and other such things. It all kind of lines up well, and on your shelf it ends up looking really nice. Now, just for a reference in literature, look at these books. Books also do a really good job at lining up their entries, just because a lot of books, I guess the production and books and DVDs go a little bit differently. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's just, look at that. Look how nice that is. Hang on. Tell me that this is not visually pleasing. This is just nice to see on your shelf. Nice entries that line up really well. All the titles do, all the numbers do, everything does. And a lot of movie studios seem to want this kind of thing too. I mean, all the spines seem to line up really well on all the DVDs in this collection. Except, for some reason, when a movie comes along every once in a while, there is a glaring difference. I mean, look at this. Look at how different those are. They were doing really well too, all the way up until Deathly Hallows Part 1, and then Part 2 just happens to not give a shit. And a lot of film series do this. I mean, look at this, The Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal. Like, they start off really strong, the DVDs are very well aligned and stuff like that, and then you get Red Dragon, and then suddenly, like, everything is off. Like, I don't understand. Now, I'm well aware that this actually might have something to do with the change in studio. I mean, during SpongeBob, the creative team did change between seasons 4 and 5 of SpongeBob. So, I mean, look at these. They started off pretty strong with, you know, some minor differences, but they all have the Nickelodeon logo on top. These two have the SpongeBob logo, this one doesn't. But these all have, you know, the titles and then the, you know, around the same general information. And then you go up to after the writing team changed, and we have now a different logo. Nick, the SpongeBob logo, the name, a picture, this little logo, and everything is lined up a lot more now, but the whole point here is that maybe a change in creative team is what makes this happen. Though I don't think that's always the case. If you didn't think I was going to talk about the Marvel movies, you are horribly mistaken, because as a matter of fact, these movies are one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video. Now, these movies are actually surprisingly the opposite of what I would normally say about DVD spines, because they started off absolutely terrible, and then eventually they actually became a lot more coherent and nice to look at, and everything just ended up looking a whole lot nicer the way they lined it up. That had to do with the studio wanting there to be a bigger organizational way to distribute their properties. This looks nice. Now, my favorite thing that a lot of movie studios do is make box sets, and I like these. And the main reason why I like these is just because they're made with this nice looking organizational thing in mind. Look at that. These spines are literally a picture. That is the best thing ever. This is a box set, and if you look at the DVDs, everything is lined up perfectly because this was made solely to be together. But the only issue that I find with these is that you have to wait until all of the entries are out in order for these things to be able to be recreated in this very nice, organized fashion. And this, like this one for example, just makes absolutely no sense. This is years 1 through 6. There are 2 more movies that came out after this. This DVD is literally pointless. I don't know, I guess that I just personally really appreciate having nice, organized looking, like, you know, title for title things that all match up well, as I'm very specific about how I like things to look, and I don't know, I just like it more than having to look at a mess of different titles and stuff, especially when something is of the same franchise. That's something that really bothers me. And that's why when I make DVDs personally, I try to kind of follow my own formula of making sure things line up. I mean, every single DVD that I make has this logo on the top of it, regardless of the color. I mean, you know, all of them are different movies, and I don't count them as part of a franchise, except for these 3, which are part of a franchise. And look at how nicely all of the titles perfectly align, and the pictures, and everything. Everything is just kind of nice and organized like this, and this is the way I prefer things, so this is how I usually make them. But yeah, does this bother anybody else? Or am I just alone in this? This is just a really, I guess, obsessive compulsive thing that I look at and it bothers me. It's like a thing being out of place that I can't exactly fix. So if anybody has a similar kind of sensation with these kind of things, feel free to leave a comment, or let me know what you think movie studios can do to kind of, I guess, work on this and make it a little bit better. The way that I usually do it is that I save the DVD art, and then when I'm creating the new one, I basically use the old one as a template. But yeah, what do you think they could do to kind of, like, I guess, make this a little bit more coherent and easy to do, because it's a small thing, but it also isn't, because presentation is a big part of making something look good. So yeah, leave your comments, and make sure you like this video if you really like it, favorite, subscribe, do all that if you so choose. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. My god, these are such old projects, I can't believe I even... What the hell is this doing here?